Okay, so this is going to be part 2, April 2022, money for Aquarius. So let's do some quick hits and then we'll round off this reading with kind of a little bit of a capper on the overview for money. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages. Let's get the caper, cat burglar, or maybe somebody stole your heart. Maybe somebody stole this ideal, like a thief in the night, is kind of what I'm getting as well. And yet, it's almost as if this were a karmic tie or connection. Now, again, remember, this is a money reading, so it can involve career path or employership. This was done for the sake of you being able to still kind of make something out of a bad situation, seeing the silver lining in any event. And because you've so kind of wisely done so, you made something out of nothing, essentially. You know, this Eight of Cups figure represents somewhat of a magician here with that walking staff, somewhat of a hermit even as well. And that kind of in-between period or phase, you know, really brought you to this kind of bare bones skeleton crew of self. So you could really find the depths and the true meanings of who you are and what you're about. Which is wonderful and beautiful, and it could be at times, yes, you know, very kind of saddening, very, you know, hard to go at it alone, in between, you know, these, you know, the false and the true, again, apply to your story, but it will have been worth it, very much so. I just want to have that, you know, kept in mind for you, Aquarius. Let me see what else wants to come out here. Let's actually do quick hits, and then I'll articulate this last card that just came out. Okay, let's do business, finance, work, career, entrepreneurial endeavors, and investments. Let's go business, finance, work, career. Let's go, I wanted to do abundance as well. Let's do abundance, let's do entrepreneurial, and let's do investments. So for business, we have the Emperor in reverse. Okay, so feel free to apply this to your story or what have you, however you interpret this, if it resonates. The Emperor in reverse can be read as, shout out to the OG Emperor in the background as well, the Emperor can be read as a tyrant and or someone who's micromanaging or somebody who's not aware of their own power in a given situation. This does represent Aries springtime energy as well, which we're currently in. 4 in the reverse is coming out of stability, points to a creative endeavor with the 3. Hierophant in the reverse could be falling out with Taurus and or carving your own path. I'm getting so much, so very strong thematically. It's almost as if like an empire is being built, you know, pun intended, because again, that OG Emperor in the background builds empires. The Emperor came out as well. Could be a divorce, could be carving away from a traditional path where somebody would have you play out of character and outside of your power. You're no longer wanting to relinquish power in this way. I'm getting that for money for you, Aquarius, is greatly tied to, again, more of on the personal, emotional element, and that does kind of read more so into family legacy, a significant other, where you're really kind of both putting your resources on the table to construct something for the long haul and the long term. It could be that you guys did not see eye to eye, there wasn't comfortability here, there wasn't mutuality here, there wasn't being on the same page and or seeing something from the same vantage point. And so now it could be that you or this person with the Page of Swords, this is a challenging, objectionable energy and or wanting to put yourself back a level to the state of someone who's still kind of in a student role. Now, the only negative aspect of that is that sooner or later you will have to take a leap of faith, you will have to make a calculated decision, and you will have to level up. With the Page of Swords here, jump into the Fool card in the upright. Fool card, it's no coincidence that at the time of this recording, this is April 1st. This is known for April's Fool's Day. And there's a new moon in Aries, and sometimes the Fool card is referenced to Aries, so there's a lot of connections there. This is a great time to manifest as well with the new moon. And see the fruit born and bared, you know, at the full moon, where we usually give thanks and gratitude for what we've manifested in this cycle. Now, That's for business. So taking a leap of faith, I would say, okay? After having kind of moved in your own direction, fallen away with the Two of Cups in reverse, Hierophant in reverse, it's a marriage card. So you could be, after a divorce, taking a leap of faith in a new direction. Let's see what that new direction is really quick before we move on. Four Cups in the reverse. This is being emotionally vulnerable and open to something new as well. Chariot card, summertime energy. I'm seeing someone or something Cancerian energy rushing in quite vividly and fast, powered by 7 spiritual numbers. So someone who's going to be in tune with your emotions, with the moons on the shoulder, your moon cycles, somebody who's kind of, mature for their age. Now moving, and it could be a business partner, it could be a mature leader in a new business and or corporation or employer. So moving on to finances, the Five of Pentacles in the upright speaks to poverty consciousness, a little bit rickety on your finances. The Page in the reverse speaks to a lack of an offer. Somebody feeling as though people aren't seeing the worth of the value that you're putting out there. And so, you're reducing to the Four of Pentacles in the upright. You're holding on to what you know to be for certain in regards to value. You may know that you have a great, valuable product and you're not necessarily budging because you're not seeing some sort of external validation. Okay? And so the Five of Pentacles in the upright speaks to continuing to invest in yourself, know that you have true worth and value, and true worth and value nowadays isn't really seen or known because we're purposely, being deteriorated culturally by the powers that be. So when you know that you're being gaslit, then you could still kind of stay tried and true to the course and not, front or get all worked up because, you're not being, your validation stamp is not being stamped. Your validation card is not being stamped. You don't need anyone else to validate you or give you approval. There's a lot of injustices out in the world, and those that have money don't necessarily mean that they've worked ethically to obtain it. So don't trip on that. Don't trip on that. Real worth and value and substance stands the test of time. Keep on putting your product out there, and you will be amazed at the growth that you see in time. Okay, this is exactly, who, what, where, when, why you need to be, I should say, in regards to finances. Now, so for work, we have the Tower card coming out here. This is a sudden change in work, okay? This doesn't have to be, read with fear. This could be read with love, obviously, and let's do that. Let's read this with love and see that this is this kind of sudden change, this sudden abruption that is actually in its own way going to have ripple effects. And this is something that you're going to be able to take advantage of. The Tower represents number 16, which adds to 7. This is a spiritual occurrence here. Three of Cups in the reverse, a sobering reality coming out of a party state of mind, seeing truth and clarity here for the first time, being able to apply this victory, this minor arcana epiphany, aha moment. New beginnings, new communication, cutting cords from the past or the old way of understanding things, which is very, very great in regards to work. Very, very great in regards to work. Finding internal harmony, remembering to maintain your spiritual intuitive path here as you invest emotionally in your next kind of work investments. You want to have an emotional connection to your work. Work I define as more of a day-to-day. So when you invest emotionally, then you're going to see that reciprocal return in some way, shape, or form. And it's not going to be something that you're going to have to continuously manifest, but rather it's going to be something that's going to want to occur naturally based off of the quality of emotional investment that you're putting in with the Ace of Cups in the reverse. The Magician card in the reverse speaks to not actively manifesting, but really kind of tried and true, allowing yourself to be real and be you and do what you do. Whereas sometimes we could get lost in trying to manifest something that is not just quite yet ready for us. So continue to hit the day-to-day when I see this work category and continue to invest quality, and then sure enough in divine timing. Remember, the Magician in the reverse, you don't have a say in what time this reward or the fruits of your labor comes to fruition. There's where we have to kind of humble ourselves when it comes to being creatures within the paradox of space and time. And so with career now, the category is the star card in the upright. This speaks to wish fulfillment, okay? Because remember, your work days create your career and your career arc. So the star card, you will get fulfillment, and it may not be on your time frame, but that's the whole kind of meaning and point of making sure that at your core you are on the right team, so to speak. You're on the team of love and light, being good, holding up virtues, ethics, standards, morals, all that stuff. And you do get your wish fulfillment. You are in the spotlight. You are under the sky of wonder and awe, because you don't know how you got here, because all you did was keep your head down and work your butt off and did really good work. And because of that, you pulled in either your twin flame soulmate and or your twin flame dream career and or path, and you're able to kind of live off of whatever it is that you were doing here. And it could be that maybe you didn't see it practically with the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, but and you even were at times where you questioned this practicality day in and day out, and yet I'm getting that you're seeing it now. You're seeing it now, and it wasn't because you continuously added more and more to it. You just kind of stuck to, hey, look, this is what I do, and I see my own I see the quality of what I'm doing. So I'm having a little bit of a rebirth here, in what it is that I've been building over a time. So what else do we have here? So that's for career. Let's see for abundance. We have the Wheel of Fortune that got kicked in the reverse when I was pulling the other card. So I'm just going to take it as the reverse now. It came out in the upright. But for abundance, there's some stuck stagnancy or lack of travel here. You're actually in a little bit of an emotional comfort zone here. There's something in regards to some sort of union. What is this, Spirit? Okay, someone is going to maybe dole out some value. Just make sure that they are not kind of breadcrumbing you, or that you're putting off traveling or moving, waiting for someone is what I would say for your abundance, okay? And remember, you're not putting off your own knowing sense of self-worth here as well, because real abundance is knowing that, hey, look, I have so much to offer and give. Let me not hold on to it for sake of being bitter or this, that, and the third. Let me just continue to give, obviously from a quality place and a filled cup and a rejuvenated emotional place. But that's what real abundance is kind of continuously being able to turn on that light and really put yourself, in that way. The King of Swords in the reverse here, again, we're speaking to entrepreneurial endeavors here or pursuits of the King of Swords in the reverse. This is an inner knowing about divine timing of your investments coming in on a return with the Temperance card in the upright. I'm being pulled to flip again for investments. Queen of Pentacles, your investments, whether it be stock, cryptocurrency, your YouTube channel, this is going to pay dividends with the Queen of Pentacles, especially by wintertime. Sagittarius, Capricorn energy, anything else with the inner knowing. I feel as though you're getting an inner knowing of slow and steady wins the race. You're getting an inner knowing of you having turned cold to certain relationships and or things that you've been watering or funneling attention to that no longer serve you. And because so, you've chosen to put down that burden. You owe no one nothing, regardless if there are unfinished and or incomplete cycles in the past. With the World card, you don't have to continue to complete that narrative. That's not your work or your job to illuminate something for somebody else. They can work on themselves. So let's see for you lighting your way, essentially, is what I'm getting here with the King of Wands in the upright. That has nothing to do with you. And for this kind of entrepreneurial / this investment, you will kind of be showcased as a leader, despite any emotional gaslighting or manipulation. You've been able to illuminate this, and you understand the vibe. The vibe speaks volumes first and foremost, and so you could kind of just enjoy whoever and whatever it is that you want and need to, because you've earned it, because you've been able to kind of navigate. 8 of Wands in the upright is being able to receive incoming communication and or send out incoming communication. 9 of Wands in the reverse, expressing in a healthy, positive, constructive way, going to bat for yourself. and you appearing as the Empress. The Empress also bodes very well for love and finances overall. So that's entrepreneurial / investments category. So to kind of wrap up the kind of overall gestalt of the money for April 2022, Aquarius, the Judgment in the reverse came out for your kind of capstone card. To put a button on this reading from the money overview that we started with the 2 Ten of Cups and the 8 of Cups in the upright. Judgment in the reverse is just giving space. Just keep on continuously giving space to yourself, to the situation, space to operate, space to feel, space to process. If we want to do a little bit of the tarot math here, we have the 10 of Cups in the reverse points to the 9 of Cups in the upright. This is being emotionally independent on your own, sometimes read negatively as being smug. This person, if somebody, broke your heart, or somebody fired you, they could have an air of being smug, whereas you actually were emotionally involved and invested, and you really didn't take too kindly as to how things played out. But again, that's a reflection of their own karma on them. It has nothing to do with you. If this 9 of Cups is you in the upright, make sure that you're not taking a step down from your quality and worth, with the Ace of Cups in the upright being the item that is missing from the 9 to the 8. Again, it's kind of a reduction here. The 8 of Cups has a more kind of less emotionally sturdy and sound. Just make sure in April you're not going back to being this kind of lost puppy dog, because you've proven to be a badass, with the 10 of Cups pointing to the 9. 9 is a very independent number. It represents independence. So to be emotionally at an independent point, don't feel as though you have to step down to reach this 10. Regardless, the 10 being here, it does occur in the 8, 9, 10 fashion. Is typically the steps of the tarot to reach that 10. So give yourself space, give yourself time. Don't relinquish your power or your emotional agency over yourself. Here, the 9 and the 8 turn to 17, turns to an 8 again. The 8 and the 10 offset here to the 2 Cups in the reverse as a falling out or ending of business contracts and dealings. That points to the Ace in the upright. That same Ace that works for your 8, 9, 10 progress here. So I'm finding that when you stay in your emotional independence, okay, you are going to pull in and attract the real deal. Stick to your guns is what I'm getting. Give yourself space and time to be successful, okay? Don't crack such a tight whip on yourself with the Judgment card in the reverse here. Okay, this speaks to giving space and time to a particular situation. It's almost as if it's wanting to say, give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance to be successful. Sometimes we have such a tight protocol or issuance or window, and we have all these great manifestation ideas, but we don't give ourselves the time that we need as master manifestors in our life to create our reality. Rome wasn't built in a day, to go back to the empire and the emperor in the background. The Roman Empire. So I'm going to leave you with that. Love and light to you, Aquarius. On to Pisces, and then we will have completed money April 2022, and then I just got to do all the work to post it. Kicking around the idea of hiring an intern so they could post. So holler at me if you guys are interested. We could talk about that. Holler at your boy. Peace, love and light to you.